Hello folks. Let's see. Okay, where the hell am I? Bed now. Beha. Did I call him Ben, huh? Oh, apparently I never called him Ben, which is his name in my notes. That's kind of funny. Okay. And, was reminded that. Loot Gorma. He reminds me of that guy from Lord of the Rings, the big fighting warrior orc. Let's see. I was reminded of that when he headed into the back room. Tor behind him. It was quite a mess in there. It was loaded with dead people. Or 5 dead Zedans in there. And no dead Jade. Dead or wounded Jade. One fell by the door. Had been killed in close quarters. And fell by the back door. Let's see, back door. Let's see. Wish I could come up with a cool alternate word for door that's still clear and understandable. One fellow by the back door had been killed in close quarters, seized in close quarters and got hacked up. Throat slashed, and he had been stabbed and shot. Some bigger guy, soldier farther in the room, and got killed close to a pillar, which he had probably been using for cover, and he had a dozen holes in his chest, all about his chest. Some other guy died with a single bullet AK round through his head. He was the messiest, but the least messy, but still died pool of his own blood. Still surrounded, laying atop a lot of his own blood. Still laying atop. I have an alternate word for blood I want to use, but if you change blood, you have to come up with words for bloody, bloodily, blooded, bled. Maybe I'll just say fucking and keep those words. See through the bark room, see carnage, no friendlies. See 1, 2. The other 2 guys were slumped down in the open, bullets in their back. They apparently panicked and tried to flee. Like the guy who died in the doorway between the back and front rooms. The one who almost nailed what's his name? Biha. Where's Wizza? I call him Wizza by accident. Wizza is the good Jade. I don't want to be accused of prejudice. I have good Jade and bad Jade in my story. So when coming up with, well, I guess, even if you use fictional nationalities, people can say these Twitter people can say you're covertly attacking real cultures or you know, cultural appropriation, giving into that whole yellow peril thing. People would have been aghast in World War II. We can't go to war with the Japanese, that'd be racist. Now the Japanese declared war on us, but no. We just have to give them whatever they want and let them have free reign in Asia, because, you know, that's a business for themselves. I'm sure there were people with that mind frame back in World War II, but they weren't in power, thankfully. It seems that you have to be crazy if you think that Japanese imperialism is somehow different from Western imperialism just because of the skin color and the race involved. So, private. Let's see, is Biha private? He's a PFC, yeah. PFC. Moxling. PFC Moxling. Who's going to yell? Yeah. Yes, sir. Be high ass. Go and check the roof. Make sure the guy was shot up there is dead. Come on, word. Right, sir. Big hop. Right away. I thought of changing right, sir, to I, sir. In all cases. It sounds better, I think. Let's see. Head outside. Headed outside to see the men. Or no, wounded men. Wounded men about the doors. He saw some wounded men. Wounded Jade comrades off in the distance. Lying on their backs. Lying in rows on their backs. Like they were already dead. They dead. They were writhing and moaning. Writhing, moaning, and screaming in some cases from the pain. They look like anybody was giving them painkillers. We saw some Zetin. Did I call him Yetin? I don't think Yetin is anything in my universe. It would be needlessly confusing to have Zetin and Yetin both mean Americans. There aren't that many nicknames for Americans, at least in English. You got American, you got Yank. In Germany, in World War II, they called us the Amis. Amis, what sounds pretty good to me. We should claim that word as our own. American is too wordy. Brits can call themselves Brits or Brit. French can call themselves... well, French. Francais, yeah. It's just 2 syllables. That's not too wordy. Germans, 2 syllables too. Chinese, 2 syllables too. Japanese, 3 syllables. Russians, 2 syllables. Yeah. Japanese, Australians, 4 syllables. God damn. Must be why they call themselves Aussies, usually. What's this feeling on my arm? Ugh. Some hideous growth all over my body, poor body. Thought you're supposed to only get disgusting looking skin when you're old. I'm not that old. Don't look like anybody was giving them painkillers. So I saw some Zetin soldiers captured earlier. Some of them were medics with Red Cross brassards displayed prominently. Like this was a legitimate war and not some terrorist incident. Biha accepted the label of terrorist. Label. terrorist. Even though he would have rather been called a soldier by the enemy. Someday, maybe it would, when the Jade Empire was restored, its warriors would be called soldiers by the enemy. One idea I thought cool with the Jade: have some Germans from the last war show up and help them out. You know, I like continuity. Continuity is very sexy to me. Like, you bring in the bad guys from the previous story who survived and have them in the next story. Maybe kill them off, or maybe have them survive and fight yet another day. It's historic. Some bad guys, you know, they just keep turning up like a bad penny. Plenty of famous terrorists who weren't killed in their first incident, but that's mostly in the 70s. These days, it seems like most terrorists are dead before you even hear about them, with some notable when you first hear about them, I mean, with some notable exceptions. Called soldiers by the enemy. Lots of wounded men. They have my Vitorda. Give them a shot of something. They'll be able to take up guns, arms again. Vitorda replied. Jade men are tougher than the mountains around us. Indeed. Biha agreed. Biha's parents. What happened to Biha's parents? They're deceased, probably. Biha's parents came from one of the windy plains, from the windy plain, closer to the center of the Jade continent. It was a fertile land without many hills and no mountains. It was a great place for farmers, but had its own problems. Its fertility and ease of access resulted in being conquered many times by many different warlords. And it was often a battlefield, thanks to its great flat surface. Thanks to its great flat surface. Foreigner advisors in the Jade Army. The Jade Emperor won a number of critical victories on the Windy Plain. Foreign advisors who helped the Jade Army build itself up after World War III. Nicknamed it the chessboard, and they conducted many war games there before World War IV. World War IV. God damn, this universe sucks. If we lived in the universe that I created, we'd be on World War VI by now, I think. So it's good that this is all fiction, then. World War III, definitely a very tempting thing to me. Of course, it's World War III in this universe already, because I had a world war between the World War I and World War III, which is... World War III is our World War II, or as close to that World War II as I plan to go. I'm probably going to have some alternations. Going to delete some things here and there to simplify the narrative. There's no point in mentioning countries that aren't going to be involved in the fighting. Let's see. ancestors came from this place. Torty nodded. Mountain City. Beha asked. Yep. Torty replied. I also add more of the fictional Jade language into this story when I'm done. I mean, fictional language world building, that seems to be the big thing lately. I say lately. I think it started with Star Trek. Star Wars, I think, didn't have any fictional languages in it until the third one. Because, you know, the first one, you know, they were just worried about getting a movie made. They weren't creating a big cinematic universe at the time. Yep, Torty replied. Beha wasn't just standing about with Torty. He was heading up the ladder. Ladder at the time. Ladder to the roof. He had he had his rifle on his back and a pistol at the ready. He reached the top of the ladder, pleased to find Zed and Soldier. There wasn't waiting for him in prone or standing with a rifle aimed at his head. Yeah, would have been dead if that was waiting for him. What was waiting was that apparently dead soldier over there. He has shot through the right shoulder earlier. Let's see. French Pub. French Pub's a nice restaurant if you ever go there. If you're ever in the area of Cheektowaga. They got good nachos and taco buffet and right shoulder. Did Beha kill this poor bastard? I don't know. Beha. He was sprawled lifelessly on his chest, head to the side, eyes closed, mouth open. Blood was pooled under him. Google's got to really tie in their search results. I saw a very unsettling image when I was searching for something yesterday, and well, I was looking up unsettling images, but of a different type, you know. Don't want to be unsettled in a different way than I intended. And I was having such a good day yesterday, too, until I saw that image. Got a lot of stuff done, more than usual. Got, you know, all my chores. Did my required reading of Lord of the Rings. Did my exercise on the treadmill. Yep. I'm sure busier days are ahead, naturally. What was pulled out from under him. Yeah, climbed up to... Finished his climb. And surveyed the area. The view. You could see the superhumans. Humans off in the distance. Engaging strong enemy forces. Backed up by Jade terrorists. But yeah, I had a feeling the commander, Pham Ba Kai, was among them. Many buildings were being contested. The barracks, a guardhouse, the guardhouse, guardhouse 1. Yeah. I wish I could come up with a fictional word for guard. Yeah, I think my ideal book has a lot more fictional words in it, like in English, like Herco for house, Gurko for mansion or manor. Yeah, I checked on that. I had alternate words for trench and hill, but I think I cut those. I think I have just the right amount of fictional words now. Do I need to replace blood as a word? Or door? Or... I replaced castle with stone tall, but maybe I'll change that back because castle... I had something called a castle car. And that sounds better than stone tall car. I also replaced steel with stone metal. Guardhouse. And some office. Some 2-floor office sort of building. With a strong concrete exterior. Likely the visitors center. I wondered where he'd end up next. Pause for a second, and I'm back. But I wondered where he'd end up next. Yeah, I imagined the fight through the halls of the facility were going to be pretty tough. Probably make the fighting out here side seem like a picnic. Hopefully the enemy lost most of their men. Men fighting outside. But if they didn't, but even if they only had half or less, if they only had half or less in the facility, they could still probably defend it properly. You need less men for defense than offense. Pause a second. Let's see. The hell was observing things. Suddenly, something grabbed a hold of his leg. It was he looked down to see the corpse and it seized his leg. Right leg with its left hand. The corpse was not actually a corpse. It was just some very badly injured soldier. He had apparently blacked out and happened to end up looking very corpse-like. He let out a moan, and said, "Help me," or Biha stomped on his hand, left hand, cracking some bones in there. The man howled and Biha dropped down, grabbed his neck, the man's neck, and twisted vigorously, cracking it. Biha hand snapped the man's neck since a coon when he broke the neck of some guard at the perimeter of a camp. He getting this close and killing this close, killing a man that close with the bare hands. It made Aha feel like a real warrior. Or like from the past, where he was stepping into the boots of an ancestor. Biha felt uneasy killing that man. He comforted himself, thinking the man, it was a mercy kill. The man would have been killed Easy kill. He probably would have been left to bleed out on this roof. Call an easy killing, then come from himself thinking it was a mercy kill. The guy presented. Then probably would have been left to bleed out on this roof. A lot slower. A much slower death. And a quick nick snap. Yeah. See you later, folks. Have a nice day.